Hello, family and friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna, and thanks for being here today on this wonderful Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday so far, and if not, I sure hope it gets better, my friends. All right, let's say a quick prayer, and then we'll talk about what we learned yesterday. Lord, thank you for every single soul who can hear my voice. Please give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to gain insight and inspiration from your text that we can use in our lives today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, well, we are in one of my favorite books of the Bible, Proverbs. And although we're not like going Proverbs chapter 1 through, I forgot how many, I think it's like 30 something chapters in Proverbs, but this particular proverb that we read yesterday is a proverb. It says more Proverbs of Solomon, copied by King Hezekiah, king of Judah, because right now King Hezekiah is the king of Judah. And remember, as we learned yesterday, he is a good king. So we're really happy about that. And it's nice to see that he's going back to the Proverbs and making these declarations throughout the land, because King Solomon was a good king. So, which is what, his grandfather or great-grandfather? Yeah, so, or even older than that. But anyway, he's in that descendant of David. So here's my review. Since the Proverbs, like I said, is not necessarily like a story being told to really kind of to digest and review, it's more of wisdom nuggets, because remember, Solomon was the wisest king ever, blessed by God. And so he has all these extensive writings, and it's all about wisdom and how to be a good king, because, you know, when God asked him what did he want, and he said, I just need wisdom so that I know how to rule and, you know, be king over your people. I'll never forget that, because he was young. He became king at a young age, and he said, I am young and I'm unlearned. Give me wisdom. And of course, you know the story. God gave him wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and a ton of other things, because, you know, he became very wise, but he became very rich. And sadly, as we know, the downfall was women. He had, I believe, 600 wives and 300 concubines, or it might have been 700 wives. Anyway, it's not about King Solomon right now. It's about King Hezekiah. So here's what I did. My review is just simply what Proverbs stuck out the most to me, because I said this yesterday. When I read the book of Proverbs, I kind of judge myself based on what I'm reading, you know, because it's a lot of wisdom and foolery, righteousness, wickedness. So I just kind of look at what's being said, and then I look at my own life. So these particular Proverbs stood out to me. We covered chapter 25. So the first one I wrote down was 21, and it reads, if your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he is thirsty, give him water to drink, right? God wants us to be good to the poor. In fact, Israel's downfall was because they were so rich and wealthy, they became very selfish and cruel, and they didn't look out for the poor, widows, and children. And God holds them very highly. That's why if we're in a position to bless others, we should. 24, it is better to live in a corner of the housetop than in a house shared with a quarreling wife. I'm not a wife yet, but, you know, it's not good to just nicky nag all the time, right? Quarrel, you know, chill. So I just judged it. I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about myself. Remember, I'm telling you what spoke to me. Some other of these Proverbs might be more in line with what's going on with you. So they're very individual. That's what I really like about them. And that's why I don't really have a major review of it. It's just I'm sharing with you what spoke to me. 28 is the last one in this chapter. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Just that word self-control, you know, as an educator, we always taught the kids to have self-control and to be calm and all of that. And so that applies to us too. And, you know, that especially applies to us because kids are watching us. So if our kids grow up seeing us fly off the handle for every single thing, what do you think they're going to do when they're under stress or pressure or emotions, right? So self-control, that's a good one, right? And adults and kids alike, we need that. All right, moving on, chapter 26. The first verse I highlighted was 9. Like a thorn that goes up into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Oh, I'm telling you, a lot of these I just be like, I find them comical, but because they're so relatable. That's why I'm just like, wow, this Bible was written when, and it relates to right now in my life. So anyway, verse 9, sometimes you just have to, you can't win every, I wouldn't even say argument, but you can't win every discussion or debate, right? Just sometimes it's just better just to let people I'm good. I'm not arguing. Chapter 12 or verse 12. Do you see a man who is wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Don't think so highly of yourself. I mean, it's good to have self-esteem, yes, and it's good to, to study and get wisdom and to be learned and all, but don't think you know everything. Don't think you can't be taught is what I take away from that. So just checking myself here. I ain't calling nobody out but me. Some different proverbs might check you, but these ones that I resonated for me. 17. Whoever meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a passing dog by the ears. Because I'm picturing the visual, right? I'm walking in a dog park and I just roll up to somebody's dog and just grab them by the ears, thinking I'm saying hello to them, and that dog bite me. Don't meddle in other people's quarrels. When somebody call me and they having drama, I'll listen to it. I might even give a little sage advice just to that particular person, just, whether they need some calming down or just whatever. But I'm not getting in everybody's mess. I got enough mess of my own. So I'm not getting in others' quarrels. I like that one. That's a good one. Verse 20. For lack of wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no whisperer, quarreling cease. So that's about quarreling again, just be quiet about the matter. If you stop giving attention to a problem or issue or drama, it will go away. It will die down, at least, just like the verse says, take the wood out the fire will not kindle. Same with drama. Stop getting on the phone every day talking about the same foolishness, talking about myself, of course. I'm checking myself here. Verse 27. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and a stone will come back on him who starts it rolling. I love that one, right? Like, don't try to set people up for a downfall, because that thing will ricochet and backfire and you be looking crazy. So that's what I take away from that. Don't dig a pit for somebody else. You might fall into that pit. Don't roll a stone. It might fall back and roll on you. That's a good one, right? All right, moving on to chapter 27, the first verse. The first one got me. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring, right? So we're not supposed to, and this is especially for me, because I am a planner type of person. I'm not like a last minute. I'm not very impulsive, right? Hey, Lori calls me impulsive. Me and her daughter share birthdays, and she's like, y'all are Geminis, y'all so impulsive. Hey, Logan. Anyway, I'm a planner. I don't think I'm impulsive. Clearly other people do. But what I'm getting at is, it says, do not boast about tomorrow, because you don't know what a day may bring. So for example, I'm excited about my plans. Today is July, but I'm already planning for what I'm up to do in September, and I'm excited about that. So I might share with somebody what I'm doing, in September, because I'm excited about my plans. So now I just remember and remind myself to always say, if the Lord wills. If God wills, I'm doing this or that. If the Lord wills, I want to do this, that, and the third. Because you don't know. You don't know what a day may bring. So that's what I take away from that. That hit me good. Because, like I said, as a planner, I got plans to 2027 right now, okay? And if the Lord wills, I look forward to those plans. All right, moving on. Verse 6 was my next one that spoke to me. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Profuse are the kisses of an enemy. A real friend will tell you the truth. A real friend is going to give you the down and dirty. Hey, Lori. Lori in the spotlight today. Hey, girl. You know, I have a very small circle, but I have some really true A1 day one friends, and I hope you do in your life too. Hey, Darla. Hey, Mika. I mean, I better shut up shouting them out, because then I'll forget somebody and somebody gonna get mad at me. But y'all know I love y'all, my true friends, my small circle. Hey, Jasmine. Let me stop calling people out. Hey, Linda. Moving on, verse 12. The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. I like just the visual of it all. Like, the prudent sees danger. So you have to be aware of what's going on. Don't just be like, you know, you gotta be aware of things and not just walk into every little situation. You know, have some discernment, say prayers about it. You know, these long range plans that I'm talking about, I do my research. Like, there's plenty of things I want to do, like going abroad and stuff like that, but I'm not feeling that yet. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I travel solo a lot, so I definitely have to be more prudent. So yeah. Anyway, okay, let's move on to chapter 28. Chapter 28, I literally wrote down like every single verse spoke to me. In fact, so much I'm going to do a separate video and put it out a little later, just chapter 28, because chapter 28 is really good. But here's just a couple that I did single out. Number 1, the wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. And I think I even mentioned that yesterday when I was reading it. You know, especially my personality, at least I think so. I am calm, cool, collected. I don't pop off. It takes a lot for me to get there. So that can be taken advantage of sometimes. Like, people kind of take your kindness for a weakness and will try and take advantage of you. And so there are times when you have to be bold as a lion. So that one spoke to me. And, you know, dealing with certain situations, you know, like somebody took advantage of me and I paid for a cruise, and then they canceled the cruise and thought they wasn't going to give me my money back. I'm like, oh, no. So anyway, my little personal testimony of having to be bold as a lion, that happened like last week. But also, be angry but do not sin, right? So there's that delicate balance. Be bold as a lion, but don't get crazy, right? Because we are Christians and we have our integrity, and we still have to be held accountable, and we don't want to look like we just, you know, go from 0 to 1,000 because you mess around and hurt somebody. And that's not, we're not going to jail. We don't do that. We don't do that. We let God get them, right? We have to be bold as a lion, but overall, we got to let God take control too. Wow, my review is super long. You know, these Proverbs get me there. But here's the thing. We only got 2 chapters today, so I felt like I could kind of, you know, chill with it just a little bit. All right, moving on. 12 also. When the righteous triumph, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, people hide themselves. I thought of politics when I saw that one. And here's my last one for chapter 28, 14. Blessed is the one who fears the Lord always, but whoever hardens his heart will fall into calamity. I love the Proverbs, as you can tell. So, fear the Lord always. That means literally, and, you know, respect mainly. You know, fear the Lord, follow his commands and statutes, and show God respect. You'll be good to go. And our last chapter was chapter 29. Very quickly. Number 1, he who is often reproved yet stiffens his neck will suddenly be broken beyond healing. And so that spoke to me, because we're never ever going to not be disciplined or have some learning, right? Doesn't matter how old we are. So if you take wise counsel and learn from mistakes or just whatever it is, you know, you'll be good to go. But it says, and if you stiffen your neck, you'll be broken beyond repair or beyond healing. I don't want to be broken beyond healing. I'd rather be called out and corrected and maybe even embarrassed and even shamed, whatever the case may be, than be broken beyond healing. All right. There's so many more, but I'll leave with this last one, 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the righteous, but one whose way is straight is an abomination to the wicked. We can be an abomination to one or the other, the wicked or the just. So there's a choice there. All right, friends, enough. That was a review, right? That was my longest review in forever. But like I said, we only have 2 little chapters today. So I took my time. Number 1, Proverbs 30 and 31. 2 chapters. I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that in a while. And one day coming up, we only got 1 chapter. I was like, what? I get to talk a little more than usual. So anyway, let's get started with our reading today. No video today because, like I said yesterday, I recorded all the Proverbs. Go to my playlist. You'll see the Proverbs. You'll see Psalms. Beautiful videos with the words. You can go and enjoy those later. But for now, let's get our reading for today out the way. Proverbs 30. Here we go. The words of Agur, son of Jacob, the oracle. The man declares, I am weary, O God. I am weary, O God, and worn out. Surely I am too stupid to be a man. I have not the understanding of a man. I have not learned wisdom, nor have I knowledge of the Holy One. Who has ascended to heaven and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has wrapped up the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name? Surely you know. Every word of God proves true. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Do not add to his words, lest he rebuke you and you be found a liar. 2 things I ask of you, deny them not to me before I die. Remove far from me falsehoods and lying. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food that is needful for me, lest I be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and profane the name of my God. Do not slander a servant to his master, lest he curse you and you be held guilty. There are those who curse their fathers and do not bless their mothers. There are those who are clean in their own eyes, but are not washed of their filth. There are those, how lofty are their eyes, how high their eyelids lift. There are those whose teeth are swords, whose fangs are knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, the needy from among mankind. 15. The leech has 2 daughters, give and give. 3 things are never satisfied, 4 never say enough. Sheol, the barren womb, the land never satisfied with water, and the fire that never says enough. 17. The eye that mocks a father and scorns to obey a mother will be picked out by the ravens of the valley and eaten by the vultures. 18. 3 things are too wonderful for me, 4 I do not understand. The way of an eagle in the sky, the way of a serpent on a rock, the way of a ship on the high seas, and the way of a man with a virgin. This is the way of an adulteress. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done nothing wrong. 21. Under 3 things the earth trembles. Under 4 it cannot bear up. A slave when he becomes king, a fool when he is filled with food, an unloved woman when she gets a husband, and a maidservant when she displaces her mistress. 24. 4 things on earth are small, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they provide their food in the summer. The rock badgers are a people not mighty, yet they make their homes in the cliffs. The locusts have no king, yet all of them march in rank. The lizard you can take in your hands, yet it is in kings' palaces. 29. 3 things are stately in their tread, 4 are stately in their stride. The lion, which is mightiest among beasts, and does not turn back before any, the strutting rooster, the he-goat, and the king whose army is with him. If you have been foolish, exalting yourself, or if you have been devising evil, put your hand on your mouth. For pressing milk produces curds, pressing the nose produces blood, and pressing anger produces strife. I love that. I won't review this at all. I'm going to just keep going because I'll have a great time reviewing it tomorrow, I'm sure. All right, moving on. Get my iPad to go. 31, Proverbs 31. The words of King Lemuel. The words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. Okay, King Lemuel, let's see. What are you doing, my son? What are you doing, son of my womb? What are you doing, son of my vows? Do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to take strong drink, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed, and pervert the rights of all the afflicted. Give strong drink to the one who is perishing, and wine to those in bitter distress. Let them drink and forget their poverty, and remember their misery no more. Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are destitute. Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and the needy. Oh, this one is my favorite, one of my favorites. I did this one for Mother's Day. Proverbs 31, verse 10, the woman who fears the Lord. Hey, y'all, this is us. Let's listen. Let's listen up on this one. An excellent wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack or gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like a ship of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her whole household, for her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchants. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. Oh, I love that. Wasn't that great? I did that for Mother's Day and put out a Mother's Day poem, which is also on my playlist. So if you want to go back and look at the Mother's Day poem, you'll see it. All right, friends, moving on to our church announcement. That was our reading today, right? So here's our church announcement for today. Hey, Youngstown, Ohio. My friend Tanya, not Tanya, but Tony, my friend Tony, his mom had a rest in heaven birthday. I believe today, but it could have been yesterday. She turned 89. Rest in heaven, queen. Hey, Tony. He's my friend in Seattle area. And my other friend, my childhood friend Tracy, Her bonus daughter, I think her name is Hope. She turned 9, I believe, yesterday, but it could have been today. Sometimes when you see a post, it might have already happened. So forgive me if it was belated, but happy birthday, Hope. Hey, Tracy. Tracy, you are so funny. I just never knew you were so funny. She puts the funniest things on Facebook. Most I'll repeat. Some I will not. Moving on. A good friend, Melissa, we fondly call her M. Hey, M, another childhood friend. We graduated high school together, and we are both exquisite sorority members. You know, we made up our own sorority back in high school, and we called ourselves exquisite. We used to pretend like we were in fraternity. I love it. Happy late birthday. I know your birthday was yesterday. I'm sorry, I just saw it today. And one of my dance friends, John. Hey, John. He turned 41, I think, today. Hey, John. He's the king of DFW Swing Out. Or I think it's called DFW Swing Out. But anyway, Swing Out. I took a lesson or two, but I'll stick to stepping. That Swing Out, they move too fast. I ain't getting, hey, John. He's the man, though. And lastly, I saw a celebrity birthday today. Moni Love turns 55. And if you're 50-ish like me, you know exactly who Moni Love is. Happy birthday, Moni Love. All right, friends, I took up enough of your time. I hope it wasn't too bad. 7 minutes. Well, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow, God willing, of course, because we don't know what a day may bring, right? See you tomorrow. Bye.